My home-built MG-34 prop gun began with an image printed out to 1:1 scale. This enabled me to measure the distance between and the size of various parts. I'm not going for complete accuracy, but I do want to recreate the general idea of a World War II German machine gun. I've been scrounging around my garage and basement looking for items that can pass for parts of an MG-34. So far, I've used wood to make the main body of the gun. Now I need to work on the barrel, which is one of the most recognizable elements of a Maschinengewehr 34 MG-34. When people do home repairs, sometimes they have supplies left over, which eventually end up at the curb or in a dumpster, which is where I come in. This length of 1.5-inch PVC and the lumber I've used so far were all picked from the garbage. So there are a few things I needed to buy, such as paint, screws, and a few of these PVC couplings. This is called a repair coupling, so it lacks the center dividing ring, and it can slide all the way down over the pipe, so it's perfect for consistent measurements. My first row of cooling holes begin with a small pilot drill, followed by a larger spade drill. A 1/2 inch was close, but I eventually moved up to 5/8 of an inch, which is a more accurate match to the real thing. Uniformity will be key to creating the illusion here, so I need to work out a little math. The outside diameter of the pipe is 1 7/8 inches, which when converted to decimal equals 1.875 inches. That times pi equals 5.89 inches, which gives me the circumference of the pipe. And I think I'd like to have 6 rows of cooling holes, so 5.89 inches divided by 6 equals 0.981 inches, which is awfully darn close to 1 inch. I laid out my painter's tape and used a ruler to make a mark every inch, and it worked out even better than I had hoped. The last mark falls exactly on top of the first. Thanks, Mrs. Hurley and Mrs. Wanstroth, two very skilled 5th and 6th grade math teachers that I've had the pleasure to know. Clamping a yardstick at each end also helps to keep my rows nice and straight. Now it's just a lot more drilling and sanding. It's tedious, but ultimately very rewarding because by some miracle, I didn't make any mistakes measuring, and it turned out beautifully. The PVC couplings served admirably in the first part. Now they get to help again. The barrel shroud has a few ringed areas along its length, and I'll trim the couplings for this new purpose. You probably can't tell, but I also sprayed the inside of the barrel shroud through each of the cooling holes. The paint ran quite a bit. I wiped off most of it on the outside, and runs on the inside of the barrel shroud won't be visible anyway, especially with flat black spray paint. I used my scroll saw and orbital sander to create these plugs from a sheet of 3/4 inch PVC. I needed a way to keep the electrical conduits centered within the PVC pipe. Once these are set, I'll drill a hole at each end for the metal conduit / barrel to slide through.
Pour plaisir is all les combats. Le cirque est plein ce jour de fête. Le cirque est plein du haut en bas. Le spectateur est dans la tête. Le spectateur s'est en père après fracas. Apostrophe, puis c'est ta page pour rester jusqu'à ce l'empereur, car c'est la fête du courage, c'est la fête des chiens de guerre. Allons, en garde, allons, allons,
These little connector pieces have sure come in handy. This one was also trimmed to size at my table saw, along with this octagon that has now been cemented to a PVC end cap. The shape of the muzzle's end was a little harder to figure out, but I found a set of these little cups at Walmart, and they're just about right. PVC cement wouldn't hold it, but gel superglue did the job.
On fait silence, on fait silence, à quoi se passe-t-il? Plus de cris célestins, plus de cris célestins, le taureau se lance en bondissant auditorie. Il s'élance, il entrefrappe, en chevelure, en prénom antique d'or. Ah, bravo taureau, le taureau va, il vient, et frappe encore, en secouant ses banderilles, plein de fureur il coule, le cirque est plein de sang.
The conduit barrel is now snugly inside the PVC shroud, which has been painted flat black, but it looks too new, so I'll use a little bottle of silver model paint to add some chips and nicks.
Allons, en garde, allons, allons, toréador, en garde, toréador, toréador. Et songe bien, oui, songe combattant, que le noir te regarde, et que l'amour t'attend, toréador, l'amour t'attend, toréador, toréador, l'amour t'attend.
The electrical conduit goes all the way through the receiver and out the back. I haven't made it yet, but I plan to carve out a shoulder stock from Poplar and also stain and finish it to match the wooden pistol grips. That might be part 4. The shoulder stock will have a hole drilled along its center axis so that it can slide right onto the metal conduit sticking out. So far, I've spent less than $20 on this project, but I'm about to blow the budget. What good is a belt-fed machine gun without a strip of cartridges hanging from the side? 8mm Mauser is pretty hard to find, but apparently it's common in some circles to wear dummy rounds of 7.62 NATO as a belt on your waist or bracelets on your wrist. With shipping and sales tax, I paid $35 for 21 dummy bullets held together with clips designed for an American M60 machine gun. I ended up using only 14, but it's always nice to have a few extra. So there will be at least one more segment in this series when I make the wooden shoulder stock. But MG-34s were used like this one without the shoulder stock when mounted inside tanks or in the nose of an HE-111 or the rear-facing gun on a Stuka dive bomber. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.